coated abrasive belt and disc safety, and you. Abrasive tools have come a long way from their humble origins in 1225 China, when artisans created sandpaper by coating paper with a natural gum surface and then working crushed seashells into the coating. Abrasives were an integral component of the Industrial Revolution and remain today critical to advanced technology. The basic concepts of coated abrasive tools are the same, but the ways in which they are produced and the manner in which they are used has changed drastically. Today, we fabricate these products in modern production facilities, utilizing state-of-the-art backing materials, adhesives, abrasive grains and coatings to make abrasives in many sizes and forms, including belts, discs, and sheets. Are there safety risks involved in the use of coated abrasives? Yes, there are risks. Many users of abrasives tools tend to forget that if not used properly, these tools can be dangerous. This video provides you with information on how to keep safe when using coated abrasive tools. Failure to follow the safety instructions explained in this video can result in serious injury. While this video is comprehensive, it is not possible to cover all questions or situations. For additional safety information, please refer to ANSI B7.7, OSHA, and the safety guidelines packaged with your abrasive products and tools. What's the proper method for storage? Storage is an important factor in keeping your abrasives products functioning properly and safely. When receiving shipments of incoming coated abrasive containers, inspect all packages and return any shipments with visible evidence of damage. Do not drop or in any way damage coated abrasive packaging, and never use hooks when handling or transporting coated abrasive containers. Store coated abrasives at least 4 inches above the surface of concrete, away from open windows, direct sunlight, and heat sources. They should be kept in their original containers until needed. And rotate stock on a first-in, first-out basis. Protect coated abrasives from water and other fluids. Please note that some belts must be removed from cartons and allowed to reach moisture equilibrium with room conditions before use. Check your manufacturing instructions for more details. How do relative humidity conditions affect abrasive materials? Relative humidity conditions will have an effect on coated abrasives materials, which can expand or contract depending on humidity levels. For example, a coated disc will curl up in too little humidity and curl down in too much humidity. Ideal conditions for coated abrasives are relative humidity levels between 40 to 50% and temperatures ranging from 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Never use a disc that appears warped or does not have full contact with the edge of the backup pad. Abnormally warped discs can catch on workpieces, causing the disc to break. What do I need to consider when choosing belts? You need to take special care to select the best belt for your particular job, for both safety and productivity reasons. Inspect all grinding belts before mounting in case of damage during shipping and handling. And pay close attention to the joints of the belt. Never use one with nicks, tears, and loose or uneven brittle joints, or that have an abnormal appearance. Is the machinery on which I'm using the belt a consideration? Take care that the grinding or sanding machines on which abrasive materials will be used must be properly designed and guarded. Never mount belts on homemade, unguarded machines. The controls should all function properly, and the operator should be trained on the proper use of this tool. Paying special attention to safety warnings on the packaging or the belts themselves. Again, never mount a belt on an improperly guarded machine. What are the OSHA laws regarding abrasive belts and lockout-tagout? OSHA law requires machines to be properly locked out and tagged to prevent them from accidentally starting up during machine setup. Make sure you are in compliance with OSHA regulations before beginning to work. When inspecting the machinery, what should I look for? After inspecting the belts, examine the machine on which it will be used. Also use a tachometer check to see if the machine runs at the proper speed, because it is extremely dangerous to exceed the operating speed of the contact wheel. This can be checked during repairs or during preventive maintenance procedures. Make sure that the contact wheel is the correct type and size for the belt and application. Never use a contact wheel that is too thin or too wide for the belt. Also check for runout or wobble, face truth, or other damage each time a belt is mounted onto the machine. Is personal protective equipment required? You'll need face and eye protection, safety shoes, arm guards, aprons, long pants, tight-fitting gloves, and, when required, respiratory tract protection and hearing protection. Make sure your work area has good lighting and ventilation, that your work area is clean, and that machine controls are easy to reach and unobstructed. You must be able to reach the machine controls without crossing in the path of the belt and be able to see what you are grinding. What's the proper method for mounting the belt to a grinder? First, check that the belt tension device is fully retracted. Then check the steering device to make sure it is in the center position. Look to see if the belt has directional arrows. If the belt is marked with such arrows, make sure the belt is mounted in the correct direction. Now slide the belt on without tearing, turning pulleys, or cracking the belt's edges. Make sure the abrasive belt fully covers the contact wheel to prevent the workpiece from snagging. Next, apply tension to the belt. Too much or too little tension can cause the belt to break. Use caution when tension is applied to ensure that nothing gets caught between the belt and the tension device. Jog the machine and check the tracking of the belt. Be sure that the adjustable deflector is set within a 1/4 inch of the working surface of the abrasive belt. If the machine has a tracking device, adjust it to oscillate uniformly in both directions. Replace all guards and run the belt at full operating speed for at least 1 minute. Do not stand in front or in line with the belt. If there is a problem with the mounting or the belt, it will most likely break during this startup. Also, check the sound of the running belt. If a ticking or bumping noise occurs, stop the machine to re-inspect the belt and the machine for damage. What are the final steps in the inspection process? Finally, inspect machine guards and dust collection systems. Do not replace original metal guards with paper, cardboard, or other weaker materials. Be sure the machine is properly attached to the floor and it is located away from water. After I've completed inspection and am ready to commence work, how do I proceed? Present the workpiece to the abrasive belt, always making sure that your hand or other body parts do not make accidental contact with the belt or its edges. To prevent workpiece chatter or loss of workpiece control, present the work below the center line of the contact wheel. Always use an upward stroke, a method that improves the cutting and makes the operation safer by drawing hands away from the abrasive belt. In all cases, read and follow all manufacturer's instructions. How do I know which disc to select and ensuring that it is safe to use? Before commencing work, take care to select the correct disc, backup pad, and tool for the job. You'll need a grinder if you are removing heavy amounts of materials from the workpiece. For light sanding or blending, use a sander instead. A tool that is too large for the job can be awkward to use and may result in an injury. A tool that is too small or underpowered can result in the tool stalling or the disc slipping, snagging, or breaking. Always match the disc to the backup pad. Use of undersized or worn backup pads, other discs, or grinding wheels is not safe. Always leave machine guards on grinders or sanders, and never remove an existing guard. Please note that bonded grinding wheels, also called discs, should never be used on high-speed sanders. Review and follow all machine and abrasive manufacturers' instructions and warnings. Remember, proper tool maintenance and safety go hand in hand. Never use a tool that is not properly maintained. What are the proper safety procedures before using an abrasive disc? Now that you have selected the proper tool, make certain the tool is disconnected from its power source before you inspect it or attempt to mount a disc. Inspect the tool spindle for runout or wobble and examine the mounting system, ensuring the retainer nut and spindle threads are in good working order and they hold the disc snug against the backup pad. Be sure the backup pad is the correct size and in good condition, without excessive wear or damage, and that it is concentric. It should be no more than a 1/4 inch or smaller than the fiber disc. Also make sure the RPM rating on the backup pad is equal to or greater than the speed of the tool. Remember, use a tachometer to check the tool's speed and ensure it is not over-speeding. You must never overspeed and never alter the size or shape of a backup pad. Repair or replace any tool or mounting system that is worn or damaged. Finally, check your power supply, because disc and backup pad breakages can occur because of excessive air pressure to an air tool or even excessive electrical current to an electric tool. Check to see if your high-speed air sander has a properly set air regulator, because many of these tools are ungoverned. If it has no regulator, the tool speed may be determined by air pressure. Excessive speed of these tools is extremely dangerous. Do I need to wear special equipment when using abrasive discs? Always wear face or eye protection, safety shoes, arm guards, aprons, long pants, tight-fitting gloves, and when required, respiratory tract protection and hearing protection. Respirators should still be used even if there is a vacuum system on the sander. Also ensure that your work area has good lighting and ventilation, and that it is cleared of extraneous objects. Finally, make sure the workpiece is properly secured. When you first start to grind, or after mounting a new disc, run the grinder for 1 minute in an enclosed area. Now that I've completed inspecting the disc, what are the proper methods for use? Start the tool away from the workpiece and allow it to get to full operating speed before making contact with the workpiece. Always ease the disc onto the surface of the workpiece at a 5 to 30 degree angle. An angle that is too flat may cause the machine to jump, while an angle that is too steep may cause the disc to snag and break. During grinding or sanding, always look for and avoid areas on the workpiece that might catch or jam the disc. Operators should not allow the edge of the disc to jam or snag on a sharp edge or jagged surface. When grinding depressions, moldings, lips, and heavy welds, move the grinder away from the work area, not into it. A disc used in heavy stock removal should not be allowed to rest flat upon the workpiece. If this does happen, the tool may be thrown into a rough, jumpy mode. Are there any other precautions I should take to ensure safety? Never grind or sand near flammable materials and use protective barriers if required. Never store or rest a grinder or sander on its disc and backup pad. If you drop the tool, replace the backup pad and disc before using again. Allow the disc to stop rotating before placing the tool down. Avoid bodily or any other unintended contact with the rotating disc. Remember, the disc will grind or sand whatever it comes into contact with. Inspect the disc and tool frequently. If chatter or excessive vibration occurs during use, stop usage and fix the problem before continuing. Are there special considerations for some of your specialty discs? Yes, some specialty discs require special handling due to a number of factors, such as unusual shapes or materials. Our Avos discs, for example, have similar requirements to fiber discs. However, they require guards and special precautions because of their unusual shape. Do not start the machine with an object in the air scoop, and do not grind or sand in corners. To avoid accidental startup, disconnect the tool from its power source before attempting to mount. Always use Avos backup pads with Avos discs. With each disc replacement, inspect the backup pad for excessive wear or cracks. Use light backup pads for light sanding and use a heavier backup pad for heavy sanding. What steps do I take after completing the disc inspection? Thread the backup pad onto the tool. Hand tighten. Next, lock the Avos disc onto the backup pad. When you first start to grind, or after mounting a new disc, run the grinder for 1 minute in an enclosed area. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions and warnings. Please refer to the general disc safety procedures found on this DVD. What is the best way to use flap discs? Flap discs must be used with machine guards at the correct speed, which is marked on the disc, and at the proper angle. Inspect the flap disc for loose or damaged flaps before mounting on a tool. To avoid accidental startup, disconnect the tool from its power source before attempting to mount a flap disc. Some flap discs are equipped with a thread discard mount. In these cases, you only need to thread it onto the machine and hand tighten. Some flap discs have a 7/8 inch hole and must be mounted using the mounting flange of the tool. After inspection has been completed, place the top flange onto the tool, then the disc. Next, place the thread on the bottom flange mounting nut onto the tool. Tighten the tool mounting nut. As with all portable tools, before using it, run the grinder for 1 minute in an enclosed area. A damaged disc will most likely break during this test. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions and warnings. Please refer to the general disc safety procedures found on this DVD. What is the proper grinding angle for flap disc? The proper angle depends on the type of disc being used. Type 29 flap discs should be used at 15 degrees to 25 degrees from the workpiece, and Type 27 flap disc, regular and fat boy, should be at 15 degrees or less to the workpiece. What is the proper method for using peel and stick discs? When using peel and stick discs, make sure you have a clean, properly fitting backup pad or plate. These discs do not require additional adhesive, which could interfere with the proper mounting of the discs. Do not use anything but the prescribed backup pad. Foreign materials between the disc and the backup pad could cause the disc to fall off the backup pad, so do not reuse these discs. When mounting, align the disc to the center of the backup pad. Make sure there is no overhang. Before using the disc, make certain it is flat and in full contact with the backup pad. During use, maintain steady contact between the disc and the workpiece. Discard discs immediately after removal from the backup pads. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions and warnings. Please refer to the general disc safety procedures found on this DVD. What rules must be followed when using the hook and loop system? Review the hook and loop system instructions for proper mounting and application. You must have a clean hook and loop backup pad. Do not use adhesive and do not allow anything to interfere with the proper mounting of the disc. When mounting, align the disc to the center of the backup pad. No overhang. Before using the disc, make certain it is flat and in full contact with the backup pad. During use, maintain steady contact between the disc and workpiece. These discs can be removed from the tool, properly stored, and reused. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions and warnings. Please refer to the general disc safety procedures found on this DVD. Now let's review some of the material we've covered. What are the basic causes of disc accidents? The major causes of grinding disc accidents are 1. Incorrect or undersized backup pad. 2. Use of the wrong tool or tools. 3. Careless handling of materials. 4. Excessive grinding speed. What are the top 10 rules for disc safety? 1. Store all abrasive products properly. 2. Maintain humidity levels between 40 and 50% and temperatures from 60 to 80 degrees. 3. Mount belts on proper machines, never on homemade equipment. 4. Select the correct disc, backup pad, and tool for the job. Match the disc to the backup pad. 5. Do not use bonded grinding wheels on high-speed sanders. 6. Inspect the coated abrasive product and the machine on which it will be used before starting work. 7. Do not use any coated abrasive products that appear damaged or worn. 8. Always wear protective personal equipment. 9. Ensure that your work area is well lit and clean. 10. Finally, make sure the workpiece is properly secured. Is this video comprehensive? Can I rely on it solely for information? Remember, the general safety rules covered in this video cannot cover all coated abrasive questions and situations. Always follow the safety warning located on the box on the coated abrasive product and located in the coated abrasive package. Please refer to ANSI B 7.7 for additional safety information.